Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I went to New York a few weeks ago and I might have gone a little crazy. I told myself I could buy 10 books. I only bought 9, but I went to 4 different bookstores and I enjoyed myself immensely. All of the bookstores are really cute and so much fun to explore and just kind of see the different selections because so many of New York's bookstores are very like niche. It was fantastic. So I did pick up 9 books and I will go through those now. The first place that I went was the Strand, and there I picked up 2 books. So the first one was Convenience Store Woman, which is a translated book from Japanese, and I have already read this. I enjoyed this immensely. It is about a woman who is kind of different from how society normally views people. So she sort of felt to me like she might be somewhere on the autism spectrum, but she's just sort of like telling you how she sees things and how the world isn't built for people who don't fit into its kind of mold and its norm and the normality that everybody expects. So it was very interesting because it was from her perspective, because usually for those type of books we get somebody else's perspective of someone like that. So I really loved getting Keiko's perspective and really seeing things through her eyes. It was so layered and interesting, and I would definitely recommend this. And the second book that I picked up at the Strand was Neon in Daylight, and this is a book that I had on my radar, and I just kept seeing it and being like, no, now's not the time. And then for some reason I saw it at the Strand and decided that I really wanted to read it. It is a contemporary novel set in New York City, and the reason that I say for some reason, but I know the reason why I picked it up when I did, is because I finally saw that the back of it is actually blurbed by Ann Patchett, and what she had to say on it was enticing, so I picked this one up. And then the second bookstore that I went to was the 3 Lives Company in Greenwich Village, and I picked up 2 books. This was such a small, adorable shop that had so much translated fiction and nonfiction and just translated works galore, and it was so much fun to peruse the shelves. And yeah, I just loved it and how sweet of a bookstore it was. The first one I got is a nonfiction called Singapore Dream and Other Adventures, and it's travel writing from Herman Hesse. And this just sounded really interesting. I would love to travel in Asia, and this, I don't know, Herman Hesse is such a, iconic writer. I've read Siddhartha and I really enjoyed it when I read it, and I just would love to see what he has to say on Singapore and kind of the Asian continent. The second one is not a translated novel, but this cover really drew me in. It's called The Age of Perpetual Light, and this is a series of stories that tell basically revolving around light and electricity, and they start at the dawn of kind of like the discovery of electricity and then go into a future where the world is lit day and night. And it just sounded so fascinating, and I could not pass this up, and the cover just was really enchanting. I hate that this is not a sticker. This is actually part of the book. When will people learn? But I'm really excited to get into this one. So the third bookstore that we went to was Book Culture on Columbus, and this was by far my favorite of all the bookstores. It was so charming. The layout was perfect. The size was perfect. The staff was wonderful. And I just felt super comfortable there. So the next time that I go back to New York, I will absolutely be visiting this one again. I loved all of the bookstores, but this one just especially struck a chord in my heart. They also had Blind Date with a Book books, which I love. and I already unwrapped it, so I'll put a picture here of kind of what the table looked like, because I really liked the way that they did theirs. It said if you like these, then you'll like this. The one that I ended up choosing had Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, and Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. There were 2 others on there, but I do not remember what they were for the life of me. And the book, it was funny because I was like, this is probably an Adam Silvera book. And it is. It's More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. And I had this kind of on my radar because I've not read anything of his, but people seem to love him, and this seems like the kind of YA that I would be interested in. So I am looking forward to reading this eventually. It's not super high on my priority list, but if it should be, then definitely let me know and I'll bump it up. And then the other book that I bought there was this one, which is a short story collection called If You See Me, Don't Say Hi. This is basically a collection of short stories about, I believe the main characters are all Indian. Yeah, Indian Americans, and many of them first generation. And so far I've read 2 of the stories, and this is outstanding. So I am looking forward to reading the rest of them. Also, I just think that this cover is so gorgeous. This is part of a bigger project that I am working on right now, which kind of introduced me to this book, but I was super excited that it is as good as it is so far. So this was one of my better picks. And the last bookstore that I went to was the Mysterious Bookshop, which is a mystery thriller bookstore. So neither of those are my genre. I don't tend to gravitate towards either of those, and probably the only thing that I would say I read that's in like the mystery thriller are either Agatha Christie novels or the Cormoran Strike books. But other than that, I mostly steer clear of those genres. But I think they do a lot of signings there, because they had a ton of signed copies of all kinds of books, not necessarily just mysteries and thrillers. And I ended up picking up a short story collection that I had taken out from the library like a year ago, never got to, and then just forgot about. But it is The Unfinished World by Amber Sparks. And this sounded really fascinating, really otherworldly. And then it is signed, which, you know, I already love the idea of this short story collection. It's a gorgeous physical object and it's signed. I couldn't pass that up. And then I did pick up a couple of mysteries because, you know, when in Rome. So the Mysterious Bookshop actually has a line of books that are like, they're called Biblio Mysteries, that they publish, and they do limited edition hardcovers, and then they do the little paperbacks. And basically they are little stories that are themed around books or libraries or bookshops, publishers, that kind of thing. They all have to do with books in some way, and they're written by typically well-known authors, and they cover all kinds of things. So I picked up 2 of those. I picked up Remaindered by Peter Lovesay and The Book Thing by Laura Lippman. I don't know who either of these authors are, but I can tell you that I super enjoyed both of these. They were adorable, they were a lot of fun, and I will absolutely be going by there the next time I'm in New York to pick up a few more of these, because I read them both on the plane on the way home and they were great. So that's it for the books that I acquired in New York. I enjoyed myself immensely. I wish I could have gotten to more bookstores, but it would have made this haul even longer, so it's probably good that I didn't. But that'll be it for today's haul, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!